Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this morning? I know it's another week into lockdown. I don't know about you, but I don't know whether you've had your lockdown day, your moment, your that day when everything is going wrong and it's just not the right day, and you feel like just staying in the bed and keeping your head under the duvet. And that's normal. I had that day this week, and I think we all go through one or two of those days during lockdown. And I think it's important to focus on those days in relation to looking at ourselves and our own health and well-being, because as I always say to teachers and the staff, you're no good to anybody if you're not feeling well, or if your own mental health or well-being is not good. So you need to take time out sometimes for yourselves, and I know that's difficult during these times. But it might be that just going out for a walk on your own, maybe going out for half an hour, 45 minutes, and getting that space for yourself, and maybe popping up to Marley Park or walking over to St Enda's and just having a coffee to yourself and just sitting down for a few minutes and taking those breathers for a while, because it is very important. And as I said, we do have those days. We all have those days where it seems as if nothing is going to be going right, or are we going to ever see the end of all of this? And we will see the end of it. I mean, I none of us could have anticipated before Christmas that we were going to go into this other, I suppose, even more severe lockdown. And it's important, as I said, to take care of ourselves, because we're no good to anybody else if we're not feeling the best. And as I said, we're all human. I'm human. I had that day this week. I was no good to anybody. And as I said, I was saying to myself, when are we going to get this vaccine? And when is all this going to be over? When are we going to be back in school? And when is the decision coming from the department? And I suppose on that note, there's nothing else has come out from the department since I last was speaking to you. I probably would say there might be something coming out early next week. And unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, the focus is always on the Leaving Cert children. And I know they're very stressed out at the moment, not knowing what's going to happen to them during the summer. But we also have our special needs children that we also have to think about as well, because they're also at home, no more than your own children are as well. And the sooner we do reopen, the better. And whether that's on a phased basis or not, I don't care, as long as we are there opening up and getting children back in some form or other back into school. And hopefully that date of the 5th of March, and I know we're all sort of waiting for that to come. And maybe even before that, we may even have the special ed children back. And hopefully then by the 5th of March, or just around that date, we'll have everybody back. And fingers crossed. But I suppose, as I said, we have to think of ourselves. We have to protect ourselves as well. And I know the numbers are going down slightly, and that's a good sign. And it's a sign that we are taking this seriously, and it's a sign that we are taking care of our procedures at home, etc. So, from your own point of view, just take it easy. I know it's a stressful time. It's a stressful time for all of us, but just, you know, take a time out for yourself sometime. It's important that you take time out, because you're important to your children, and they're important to you, but you need that time as well for yourself, because I know it's difficult trying to juggle and balance everything these days, but just take that time out for yourself. Just two other things I just wanted to mention. If you haven't got enough devices, or if you don't have a proper device at home, now obviously you have some sort of device if you're looking at me on this video, but if there's a laptop that's needed at home, maybe you've got five or four or five children in the house and everybody's scrambling for the one laptop. We have a number of laptops that we can lend out during this time. So I know teachers have mentioned it themselves, but I'm saying it to you now. If you do need one, or if you need advice on your internet access, if you could email one of our ICT people here in the school, and that's Miss Murphy, she's the deputy principal, and you can email her on Ms. Murphy, that's MSMURPHY at divinewordns.ie. So that's the at symbol, divinewordns.ie, Ms. Murphy at divinewordns.ie. and she'll be in contact with you then in relation to maybe borrowing one of our devices to bring home during this particular time. The other thing I would say to you as well, I know maybe a lot of children there's a lot of screen time going on during the lockdown, and we've had reports sort of from other schools about things going on TikTok in particular. So maybe, as I said, just keep a vigilant eye open as to your children's access to what they're looking at on their screens, whether that's their phones or whether it's iPad or whether it's a laptop, because there are certain challenges apparently going on TikTok, and it's very important from your own point of view that you just keep an observation of what's going on your child's internet access. So look, that's I suppose my little message to you today. Have a good weekend. I'm going to have a quick word with the children now, or some of the children as well. So if you want to get them or to the laptop, put me on pause, and I'll just have a quick word. Okay? Díogwich, Dís Mirowich, Conas atá sibh, Will tú go maith? Go Gohintach. And listen, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Do you remember last week I said something about maybe contacting some of your grandparents or maybe some older people on the road, or even sending a letter to the old people's home in Marley. Well, I actually had a phone call from the care home in Marley to say that one or two people had actually sent in a letter, just a general letter, and they gave it around to some of their residents in their care home, and they were absolutely delighted because some of those people have not seen any of their family for the past nearly 8 9 months, and get a letter from somebody who they felt was taking or thinking of them was a real delight for them. So thank you, whoever it was who sent in those letters to the care home. Well done, and thank you for thinking of those people. And we do think about our grandparents. Now, I know some of you, your grandparents maybe not be around with us any longer. I know my grandparents aren't with me any longer, but some of you may have lost grandparents during the year or the past few years. But we always try to think of them in some way this time of the year, because if you remember, this is the time of the year we always have Grandparents' Day. And can you remember now? I know the junior infants and senior infants mightn't remember, but first class up might remember the days that our grandparents used to come into the school and visit you in the classroom. Do you remember those days? Yeah. And do you remember they used to tell you stories about when they were in school and how they used to get hit on the hand if they were bold? But that day is gone. But it would have been this time of the year that we would be inviting them in again. So it's important that we would think about our grandparents, particularly this time of the year being Grandparents' Day. And I know that some of you, as I said, were in contact with your grandparents. And I just wanted to say hello as well to a few people. Sean Cadigan, are you there? Sean in Mrs. McDonald's class. Oh, yeah, I see you. You're there. And Sean, did you see Mamo and Dado during the week? Were you talking to them? And were you talking to your granny and granddad down in Kilkenny? Because I know they'd love to hear your voice as well. I'm sure you were. Okay. And Sean, I know you're doing some great work, and I know you're doing some great gymnastics as well online. So keep it up, Sean. All right. And I hope you're helping your brother Kuon as well. Good man. Good man. And I want to say hello, Cara. Cara Sharkey, are you there? Cara from Miss Frawley's class. Hello, Cara. Cara, are you doing some work with Miss O'Reilly? Yeah, is it? Are you listening to her? I hope so, because maybe when you come back to school, you can come up to my office for a treat. Okay, Cara? We'll see you soon. See you. And Henry Plant, Henry in Mr. Fallon's class. Henry, I hear you're doing some really nice things at home as well. And Henry, I hope you're helping Mum. And you know what, Henry? I met your granny the other day when I was on my way into school. Yes, I met your granny on the way when I was coming to school, and she said that you were being a good boy, and that you were being a good boy at home, and that you were helping Mum and Dad. So good man, Henry, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And Liam in Miss Muldowney's class. Liam, hello. How are you? And are you doing some nice work? I heard that Miss McGrath, in who's the SNA in your class, Miss McGrath has been telling you stories, has been reading you stories, and I hope they're nice stories, and I hope you're enjoying them. That's good. Well done. Well done. And I know, listen, a lot of you I know are doing Manga High, and we've sent out a video on your seesaw about Manga High. And well done to all those people who are on our leaderboards and are trying very hard to get points. And there's a lot of new names and everything on our Manga High leaderboard and on the leaderboards in your classroom. So well done to everybody on the Manga High. Sixth classes, I just want to have a quick word to you if you're there, because I know you're probably thinking and you're probably saying to yourself, oh, are we going to have our graduation this year? Is it going to be like last year? But you know what? I am quite confident that once we're back to school and once we get to around June, that we'll be sort of back to a little bit more normality. And I'm sure we'll be able to have that graduation up in the church, and that you'll be able to hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe it'll be in June, maybe sometime you might be able to have some sort of school tour as well, because I know those things are important to you, and they're important to us as well, because you're the oldest in the school now, and we always take pride in our sixth classes, because I know it's been a difficult year for you. It's been a different year, as it was for our sixth class last year. But we always do our best to make sure that it's a good graduation and that you have a nice time for the remainder of your sixth class. So don't be worrying about graduations and stuff like that. We'll get it done and we'll be there. Just keep up with your work with Mr. Riley and Miss Gallagher, and just keep that up. And we'll be back in school soon, and it'll be as if nothing happened. All right, guys? So, look, they're my shout outs for today. I'll be in touch with you again next week. Help mum and dad, won't you? Yes, help mum and dad over the week, because it's not easy for them as well. And as I said to you a while ago, all it takes is to empty that dishwasher once or twice, tidy up your room so that your mum doesn't have to be at you all the time, or your dad doesn't have to be at you all the time. And even if you do it without them even asking you to do it, that makes it even more special. Okay, guys? So, look, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend. If it's good weather, as I always say to you, get out there, get on your bikes, go up to Barley Park, kick a ball around, get out into the fresh air, because we don't want you on your screens all the time either. All right? So, listen, slán go fóill. We'll see you again soon. Okay? Take care.